Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your ITFC live fan reaction show. It's Ipswich Town 4, Buxton 0, free-flowing Town in FA Cup second round action through to the third round, the heady heights of the third round.
Miracle! Miracle!
I know. It's like Peckham Springs, an absolute miracle. Don't forget, hit subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. We are a fan platform rather, for fans, by fans, one club, one community, one Ipswich Town. Hit the like button. Let's set a target of 4 goals, 4 times 10 is 40, 80 likes, please. So we want 80 likes. And of course, if you've not yet done so, support the platform that is for fans, by fans. Become a YouTube member or head to our Ko-Fi site and sign up. $4.99. The cost of, well, fuck me, these days, it's like 10 seconds of your heating. You can support the platform for the fans, by the fans. Where's the draw? Asked Curtis. Let's get to the important bits first. When is the draw?
Well, I've had the foresight to look at this. Tomorrow, BBC 2, 7 o'clock.
Lovely.
There you go.
Which game is that clashing with in the World Cup? Do we know? Do we care? Are we bothered? I mean,
I don't know what's tomorrow.
We're
clashing with Germany, Spain here, aren't we?
Are we?
Yeah.
9. That way is no, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I see. Up here for thinking, down here for dancing. Right. A couple of comments, then I'll get your thoughts. We do welcome you guys and girls at home to get, if you've been at the game, on the way back from the game, at home, watched it on Paddy Power as I did, or however you watched it. We invite you to get involved in the show. Live chat box and a live link I've just posted. Click it. You just need a microphone. So a phone like this would do. I mean, my webcam, my camera's broken, but you know, anyway, you don't need a camera. That's what I'm saying. Ross Smith, Jackson, good vibes. Caden, Messi, Jackson.
Little goal at the end, yeah.
Nice little finish that. See,
comfortable.
Another player. It's going to come good for Town, I'm telling you. Harps, good win. Chappers is back, had me off the mark, and no injuries, I hope. And thanks for Bet365 recommendation. Ben Hobbs, that first goal was the most Connor Chaplin-like goal ever. One touch around the box into the bottom corner.
Lovely.
Was a class goal, wasn't it? It was a very
lovely finish.
FIFA
clinical finish. He's been missing recently. Yeah, absolutely. Like the Chaplin of last season, I feel. Yeah. And he guessed goal better than it looked. It looked at the pace of the cross, we needs to get a bad connection. That was a classic moment in Govdom, because I was just literally moaning about Wes Burns' crosses. You were. Martin was going, oh my God, Jesus Christ, these crosses. And then he crossed for the goal.
I said, do they call Wes Burns Jesus Christ? Because every time he crosses the ball, you go, Wes Burns, oh, Jesus Christ. And then literally...
the conversation at half time on ESPN was that he was really good with his crosses, but I was like, Lee Hendry thought he was decent. He was the co-commentator on ESPN.
Lee Hendry?
Yeah. He thought he was decent, but I think the Gov doesn't agree with this.
when you think of Lee Hendry, you think of Villa iconic auto glass kit with Gregory in charge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's from that ilk, isn't he? Yeah, he was good actually. He was impressed with Town, and he was impressed with Buxton. He was impressed with them.
All right, let's get your thoughts on it. I've dropped the link. If I'm honest, I'm not expecting many people to click the link. It's an FA Cup second round.
No.
I called it a waste of time. I'm going to be honest, but you may surprise me. You often do on this platform. I'll start with you, Matt. As you're here, what are your thoughts first and foremost as the overall tie?
Yeah, good. I mean, look, it's not often we sit here and go, we're expecting 3, 4. Some people put 5 in. And we actually delivered it, didn't we? Normally we haven't. Actually, to be fair, I mean, I wouldn't say we huffed and puffed particularly, but Buxton and Tommy Miller, they were saying Tommy Miller had been at the Derby game to scout that one. But it looked like they'd watched like the Lincoln, the Derby, the Cheltenham games. And they started with, if you haven't seen, they started with a back 5, knowing that, and sat quite deep, kind of inviting the pressure a little bit. And they soaked it up pretty well until Chaplin actually got us off the mark. And then, of course, it's the game changer, isn't it? And it was floodgates after that. But they certainly didn't. But we didn't want to see them getting embarrassed. It was huge for them. It was their cup final for them. Their fans were really vocal. Looked like they had a fair number over there. I think it was just shy of 10,000. The crowd, 9,870 something.
Not too bad, is it? For
yeah. So yeah, it was great. It was their big moment. They were wearing their commemorative shirt, which is brilliant to see.
Yeah.
Well, apparently all the fans that had come down on the coaches this morning were invited to a breakfast, which the players and the manager paid for. At the pub.
Really?
Yeah. So you had full English before you got on. I was thinking you'd have been all over that, wouldn't you?
I'd
Hash
yeah.
brown in there.
I'd have said I was a
Cumberland
Buxton
sausage.
fan just for that alone.
Yeah. But
let's
for
be
the professional performance, I mean, anyone watching the game would have seen that our midfield at the end was Torreira, who'd come on for Humphreys, and Wolfenden, who'd come
Yes.
on Wolsey on the hour mark. He done all right, Wolfenden. I mean, he was very much that, when he gets the ball in that central position in defence, sometimes moves it forward and passes left or right. He was kind of playing that role. A couple of nice little chips in. He had one attempt of a shot, which landed in the north stand. But yeah, I was pleased with it. Brilliant to see Chaplin get off the mark. I thought, great to see Hadmi scored. We referenced him, didn't we? He was quiet, actually. I mean, the halftime stats on ESPN showed that he'd had 5 touches in the box, had made 3 passes with a 67% completion rate. So one
Really?
yeah, which made me chuckle. Wow. But look, Edwards burst through the box for his assist and crossed it and he scored. So very professional job. Let's see where it leads us tomorrow. I mean, they showed you Wrexham Farnborough highlights, which Wrexham won 4-1, I think it was. That'd be a nice little trip to Wales to play them, I think. Both American owners. Guaranteed to be on ESPN, that one, isn't it? If it was to come to fruition.
As long as it is on ESPN, because I ain't going to fucking Wrexham. For love or money.
3 sides, Wrexham, only 3 sides.
They could have 9 sides. I still wouldn't be going anywhere near the fucking place.
Well, it used to be the racecourse grounds where Wales used to play, of course, back in the 80s. But yeah, they've got this big cop at the back of one of the goals, and it was empty. But we'll see. I mean, everyone wants Man City at home or a trip to the Etihad or something, don't they? This is where you can make your money here. This could fund January for us.
Yeah, absolutely. The Cruncher says Wolf was like a prime Perlo. He reminded me more of an Alex Bruce in midfield. Matt, centre half, come midfield player, come centre half. He's always had that ability, though. To be fair, nice little wrinkle. I mean, it's not often you're going to see it. I would say,
no.
But nice little wrinkle to his game.
And Davis, they obviously heard your moaning at the in the pre-game because Davis was hauled at half time and out the arm and come on. Yeah, is that his normal position? People in the comments might be able to tell me. Is that his normal position in a left back?
Well, Armin, I thought he was a right back, but he could be a left back.
Hang
on, no, Armin is the left back. No, Armin is the left back. Yeah,
he
Armin
is. Yeah. He did. Yeah. His first touch, he gave it out for a corner. So, well, I mean, let's wind it back to the start of the game, right? Because Burns did a very lackadaisical. Ball comes, I'll just skim it back to Walton off the back of my head, and Walton left it for someone else to get, and Buxton had a little opportunity there. Probably their best chance. They had a little chance in the second half where they burst through. The kid got cramp after that and had to be taken off. Roger Osborne moment, big moment.
Yeah. He rounded the keeper almost, didn't he?
That moment.
Yeah. They really accounted themselves quite well, to be fair to them.
I'd like to have seen them score. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there was a few teachers in the team. The manager, Vermiglio, I think his name is. He's the head teacher for a local primary school. It's got to be back in school tomorrow. So you could see what kind of lead up they've had. Another game for us, and there'll be people like you saying, "Oh, this is a bit of a waste of time," but for them, I bet they've been looking forward to this. For
them, it's everything, and you can't take that away from them. For them, it's everything. Absolutely. We took it with respect. We treated them with respect, and of course, you had the end result as you would expect once you've done that. Curtis says Etihad away, one of the best men in the country against Pep Guardiola. Chris Boyd, nice out for Buxton. Be 11 p.m. by the time they get home. Soaked, fair play to them.
They were vocal, you could hear them nicely.
They were really good. Full credit to their fans. Full credit to their fans. Arthur Wilding. World Cup in that scintillating Brazilian first game, second half. Did I set a few touches from the Playford Road playbook? Then Hobbs, Newcastle away. Why so many aways? I want a home tie, big like Man United or Man United. No,
we don't like travelling. We want Fulham Road.
I do not like playing away. Chris Boyd, Perez had a great first half, ripped them to pieces down the wings. He should do with his class. Rob Smith, Wrexham stand behind the guy who's been condemned. There we go. Great save from Neuer, says Mike D, our German. Who are they playing in Germany?
Spain.
Spain. Our Germany-Spain correspondent. We should get Mike D on the old traditional radio.
Yeah, do you remember? Down the phone. West Coast 1970.
It's been a great 5 minutes.
The Germans are back in it now because Japan surprisingly dropped 3 points to Costa Rica earlier. So it's given a bit of a glimmer to Germany. They're back in it now.
Do you want to know how many minutes of World Cup I've watched this weekend?
Go on.
Big fat round number.
0.
Last World Cup before that, I'd have watched every game like my life depended on it. This World Cup, I just can't be bothered.
Poland, Saudi was good yesterday because they had Matthew Cash playing right back for them. Poland.
Matty Cash.
He qualifies, the Villa lad. Yeah, qualifies off the back of his grandmother or something. Never been there. Can't speak the language. That's like, it's laughable, isn't it? Laughable, man.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. Right, let's try and go to someone who was at the ground. Let's see how it works. Richard, how are you, sir?
I'm good. You?
How you doing?
Good man. How was the game for you? Who was the man of the match, etc.? Talk to us.
I think Morsey was really good again first half. Just controlling, trying to keep everyone calm. I think. Wolfie in midfield. What the hell is that all about? How good was he? But also Chihuahua, I thought was outstanding when he came on. He didn't give the ball away. He turned and beat loads of players.
Had a good shot.
I thought he was excellent.
Yeah, had a good shot from distance. Well saved by the keeper.
Yeah, I think everything you said about Buxton's right. I think they've come and they've had a good go at it. But we've done what we should do. And how many of our fans are going to be moaning that we haven't put 7 or 8 past them or whatever? I don't know. It's probably loads.
No, you don't want to embarrass them. 4-0 is absolutely fine. It's what people expected. It's what happened, and they can go home with their heads held high. And they've had a good cup run, haven't they?
And the biggest challenge that Walton had all game was probably when he wasn't switched on enough to notice that Burns was heading it back to him, and
yeah.
And that's probably the closest that they came to scoring, isn't it? So
Rich would have conceded in the league for that, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Probably would have done. No, you're probably right. Yeah. Absolutely.
What do you think of Hadme? I thought he was quiet. What was he like in the stadium? Did he do a lot of work off the ball? What's the kind of take?
In the first half, he was a lot busier off the ball than in the second. But in the first half, he kept making runs, and Keogh was always the one on the ball when he went to make the run. Yeah. And spot him making it and didn't pass it to him. And there was a few times I think that we were so concentrated on getting the ball out wide to Davis or out wide to Burns, where there was open balls through the middle that weren't being taken. And I think it had me on another day. He's got a goal, isn't he? At the end of the day, he's going to be happy. I think he looked all right.
Good. And that's what we wanted to hear, you know.
And I think Chaplin played probably the best game he's played for a few games. And took the second goal of his beautifully.
Great shot, wasn't it? 2 really good strikes in that game for him. I think that had me. It's a bit of a thankless task playing that role, that central role at Bournemouth Road, isn't it? Because it's so dictated by, like you say, by the wing play. If you ain't getting the service, everyone goes, he's been crap. I mean, thankfully, Edwards burst into the box and set him up, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? When early in the season, people were criticising Ladapo playing almost exactly the same game as Ahabme did today.
Yeah,
because he wasn't getting the goals because the goals were coming from elsewhere because of the wing play. Yeah, and you don't need that. If you're going to go and score 4 goals, your striker doesn't need to get 3 of them.
No, exactly.
You need to get 1 or maybe not even get 1.
It's a good example, Martin, of what you said at the start of the season. You don't need a striker who's going to get you 20 goals, do you? You wanted to see the team share the goals round, and you certainly saw that tonight. Yeah. Certainly, Jackson moving from the right into the middle, scoring as well, didn't they?
Absolutely, yeah. Spread them out a little bit. Rich,
I still thought he might pass it to Chappers to get the hat trick, to be honest.
Yeah, he wasn't doing it, was he? This is mine.
Because I'm losing the signal a little bit. Who do you want in the next round of the Cup before I let you go?
I personally want a big club here so that we can get a bit of TV exposure under McKenna. But I'm not fussed if we get knocked out in the next round.
No.
I could care less.
No. Just get that 3rd round is like Buxton did today. This to get there is for us, really, I think. Yeah.
Steady on, lads. Don't fucking sit too high, will you? You might get nosebleeds.
It's all about the league still, remember?
Rich, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
you look after yourself, my man. Stephen, are you going to aim a little bit higher than Richard just did?
Well, I think we always have to aim a bit higher. We've also got to be realistic as well. We've got terrible injury troubles right now. But the third round, as far as I know, doesn't come till mid-January, so we might have some back by then. You know,
First weekend of January, isn't it?
Let's see who we get. I don't fear any championship sides, to be fair, if we get them. You know, we played Millwall, we got a draw against Millwall, and that was a strong Millwall side. You look at how we played against Crystal Palace, we got 2-1, and that was a strong Crystal Palace side because Arsenal couldn't go from COVID. So I don't fear anyone. Let's just get a home tie. Let's get a good game. What I don't want is someone like Wrexham away and we get beat. You know, I just can't cope with that.
Away.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind Chesterfield because I think we'd beat them anyway. Dobra couldn't play, so their goals are gone straight away, aren't they? You know, but it's like we all want like a Championship or Premier League side. Everybody wants Norwich, but
that would be great. That would be a great test, wouldn't it?
It'd be a shot in the dark, though, wouldn't it? You know, it's like, you know, you got one ball out of 70 or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's a shot in the dark. Whoever we get, I'm just gonna take it. For me, the league's the most important, and I said that on Tuesday. I'll say it now.
Yeah.
It would have been. I said to wife before it started. It'd be nice to win, but if we don't, we've got bigger priorities, and this is the second priority. The league is the first priority. We kind of made that clear, and he said the League Cup the EFL Cup was the fourth priority. So we need to take it in priority order. Right now, we've won. We're through. You know, I thought Chaplin needed that. I think he needed to get a couple of goals, get his confidence back. Now he knows he can score. Yeah, I think Had made a good game. You know, he got a goal. He was busy. He was about. You know, Morsey played well. You know, I think I was glad Bolton played because I think last time we went 2 weeks without playing a game, we ended up losing to Lincoln. You know what I mean? And it can be a long time, 2 weeks. You know what I mean? You start losing your focus on what you're supposed to do, and I think a lot of these players needed that game today. You know, especially the ones who didn't play on Tuesday. So I'm quite happy with the performance. At the end of the day, nobody can criticise a 4-0. You know, because these teams are the teams we couldn't beat. You know, the low blocks. You know, we couldn't beat these, and we found a way. You know, a bit of skill from Chaplin to get us going. It doesn't, but it doesn't matter who it is, does it? We've seen these teams play. You know, Buxton. What was it when the manager of Buxton? He was at Charlie last year. They beat Derby. They had a damn good game against Wolves. You know, these teams can cause you a problem, and we dispatched them without any problems whatsoever. You know, the only problems we did give them was the ones we made ourselves. You know, barring that. Barring that, they didn't do it.
Curtis says, Edwards. He also says Dobra can play because he is there on a permanent, not a loan, from memory. So of course he can.
Oh, he's not permanent. Yes, you're right.
I know it feels like a loan, but no, it was a permanent.
It was a loan.
He's permanent. Yeah.
Yep. But Curtis says Edwards was fantastic tonight. Feels for Harness for me. Do you agree with that, or do you feel differently about that one?
No, he's a left foot. He's a left foot who can play number 10. You know, he was good tonight. He played well. He created a goal. That's all you can ask of a number 10. You know, he had a cheeky little shot when it was blown for thing. The keeper made a good save. So he gets in and about, and he gets busy, and he gets shots off. That's all you can ask from a number 10. You know, would I rather Harness still be fit? Yes, but
of course
we are where we are. You know, we've still got two quality number 10s, Edwards and Chaplin. You know, Jackson came on to fill in sort of a number 10 role, so he can play that as well. Yeah. You know, so and we've only got let's realise we've only got 5 league games, and there's a week between every single one virtually, but in the last 2 up until the January window. So all we need to do is focus on these 5 games, and then players will be like I said. Evans might be back before the end of the year. Aluko said he'll probably be back before the end of the year, and then people will start drifting back in. You know, Harness might be back at beginning of New Year, and people start drifting back in, and then the window opens. So really, it's just these 5 games we've got to worry about, and just manage the squad for the next 5 games.
Yeah, Luco's back. You're right, Steve. Luco's back running. He said in the commentary on Tuesday night. So I mean, that's someone we're going to need. I think. I know it's not your favourite, Martin, but in terms of numbers.
It's just how they manage them. Obviously, we don't know why Kamara wasn't involved today, but you know, it's how they manage their return, at what stages they feel they can do, how many minutes, etc., etc. But Steve, before I let you go, your man of the match, please, my man.
For me, because I want to give it to Morsey, but because I think this game might be, especially with the problems we've got now, might be big for him. I'm going to give it to Chaplin because he needed that. He needs to get some. He's not scored since September. He needed goals. He'll be buzzing after that.
Perfect. Look after yourself, Steve. Appreciate you coming on,
man.
All the best. Mike D, is Addy Amy on the grass yet? That's a long-standing
Coach
joke, that
Skews.
one.
Haven't seen him for months.
No. KVY, a player you sort of singled out before the game. How did he perform for you tonight, Matt?
Yeah, average, I think. He got forward. Again, I still... the only bugbear I've got from tonight is a little bit what you said for Burns. No one seems to be able to clear the first man on a good cross. You know, more often than not, we hit the first man, don't we?
Yeah,
I mean, I think we probably had something like 20. I think it was 21 plus attempts this evening, and got 4 goals. Decent, but I do wish the crossing was a little bit better. And although that said, I had a really good header off a Burns cross, which hit the post. Yes. But I just don't feel we do that enough, and that's clearly going to be a Hadmi strength, isn't it? Feed the ball to him in the air, and you know, the first half stats showed that he'd not had any headers. So no. I think if you've got the big lump, use him a little bit. That's my little thing. And you know, we mentioned it earlier. The Poland-Saudi game yesterday. Saudi really pressed Poland, and they struggled a little bit like what we did. Then they went direct and scored their goal. So sometimes I feel like Ipswich should just, you know, forget the 700 passes. Didn't that look good? We've drawn 1-1 with Cheltenham. Get it forward. Give them a different look. Yeah.
I think many people have often said the same. And sometimes the crosses is just a little bit too flat. There's not enough, you know, variation in the cross or the swerve or the height. Like you've got and Hadmi, he wants to go and attack the ball at the right height, not at his ankles. But you know, exactly. we're picking up little strands there, and you know, and really making big things out of it.
Yeah,
you've won 4-0. Whereas Chandler says, completely disagree, Matt. I thought there was some decent crossing tonight. Okay. So, you know, that's the game of football in its beautiful nutshell, where many people can see a different thing, a different way. Chaplin got his goals. Morsey, another player we highlight before the game. How did you see his performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, this is a bread and butter game for him, isn't it? Look how he controls games in League One. So when you're playing a team from the National League North, you expect him to look even better. And, you know, it was obviously a comfortable hour, and then they took him off and put Wolfenden on. He got through the game injury-free, which was another little stress he was having, wasn't we? You don't want to be losing the talisman in the middle. It was bread and butter for him. It was what I would have expected.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so anybody else you want to highlight? Oh, 20 euros from David. Thank you very much, David. We really appreciate that. Welcome into the stream and welcome to the live chat. Thank you for that kind donation.
It was good to see Edwards. I thought he did all right. He got the assist. I like how he had his socks rolled down in that kind of like Kevin O'Callaghan. He is. Look, makes you look a bit leggy when you do that. I think he did all right. It was good to see. I mean, Chirera, Rich mentioned him there. He's not really. He's someone who could be ready to start games if there really was a bit of a crisis in December. I don't know. He looked comfortable, but again, you know, you're playing amateur, semi-professional opposition, aren't you? And then they brought on that young lad Matt Ward for his, I think, full debut. In terms of off the bench, which pushed Jackson who'd come on for Burns into the middle. That's a little bit of a stress tonight. And Burns did take a blow on his ankle, and he went back on for a bit, and then he came off. I mean, it's frustrating, isn't it, to hear Steve go, it was a fourth priority, the EFL trophy. Now you've lost one of your priority players from that. But
yeah.
It is what it is. But these kids are being Chirera, Ward, they've got minutes in the rain at Pullman Road, difficult conditions against a team that will probably go in on hard on you on the tackles. That's how they play. Done well.
Yeah, I will give. You know, I criticised the selection before the game, and I'm still not entirely au fait with it. But what I will say is that I much prefer this plan than the plans of previous managers, where you literally change the whole 11. You throw a bunch of kids in, you throw a bunch of reserves in. Nobody really comes out with it looking any good because there's no chemistry, there's no connection, there's no partnerships. It's just 11 blokes that have got the same badge on, and you go, oh well, that wasn't very good. He's not very good. That person's not very good. Blah blah blah. Whereas this plan, you're dripping players in, you're feeding players through, and they're looking better because they're coming into a setup that's already got the chemistry and the partnership. Yeah. And I much prefer that plan and method because you look at these young players tonight and you go, yeah, he's not a bad little player because he's done it in isolation around other senior first teamers, not on his own, expected to carry the whole 90. Do you know what I mean?
Well, like just playing a bunch of kids at Sells Park, like McCarthy did that time. Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. I mean, actually, I think McKenna actually managed the game really well in terms of personnel because he's made he's made Davis and Humphries at half time. Morsey got an hour. Then Jackson's come on. I don't know what it was last 15, 10, whatever. Yeah, and you've drip fed everyone, like you rightly say, and everyone comes out of it happy and looking for a third round tie against a decent opposition. Yeah,
this is it. We are back live tomorrow night, 8:45. Myself, TJ, and Lewis. We will obviously have a few more selection points from tonight. We've got other bits and pieces that we've not picked up since Wednesday, but of course, England Wales is also the big game that we will look ahead to. We're back live, myself and you, Matt, along with Rich on Tuesday for the England Matchday ticket. Before we do depart, I just want to cover, as somebody rightfully says in the chat here, Trevor Amos mentioned for Fabio Wardley. Now, he's obviously representing Ipswich Town in the boxing world, but he's also now a champion himself. Matt, what title is he now holding, and how did you see his fight?
Yeah, he's got one of the most illustrious titles you can get. British heavyweight champion. Brilliant. The old Lonsdale belt on his shoulder. Fantastic. It's a great belt. Well received around the world. Not a world title, but in terms of prestige, the British heavyweight champion is good. So it's given a platform. I mean, first round was a bit dicey for him. He broke his nose, was bleeding against Tyson Fury's cousin, Nathan Gorman, who's related to, I think his grandfather was Bartley Gorman, who was the original king of the gypsies for bare knuckle fighting. So again, like Tyson Fury, a man with fighting in his blood, and he's dispatched him in 3 rounds. Fair play to him. So some very interesting fights on the horizon for him now. And he'd probably be looking at maybe a European, shot at the European, and that will land him maybe in the top 10 if he was to win that in one of the alphabet organisations. We will see. But yeah, fair play to him. Very good. No amateur experience, now British heavyweight champion. Fair play.
Yeah,
and he had the badge on his trunks.
He did, yeah, and obviously on the trunks, and they've got the knockdown picture, which is now waiting for an opposition's badge to be on the face. When Town come into town and take 3 points and all that sort of jazz. But he's wearing gold. He's now a champion. He's on that stepping stone. It's a good point, career marker, if you like, to tick off. Lee Baylor says, get him in the same room with AJ. Is that a little bit too soon, do you feel?
Far too soon. You'll be looking at someone like Fraser Clark, who come out of the Olympics. He'll be looking at him, and the bump for the ball. I know you like Johnny Fisher. He might be having a little look. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Commonwealth title as well. Rich rightly says now. Yeah, these are all nice little belts to have to start elevating it onto the biggest thing. Yeah,
absolutely. There we go. We're done. Hit the like button, subscribe. I say back tomorrow at 8:45. Here's the Media Mogul off to have his dinner. I am off to finish the Bears. Nobody spoiled the result. I will see you tomorrow with love, with care. Town have done it. You make me smile when I think of you.